Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to the Celebrate Columbus show powered by Johnson Whitkemper Insurance. My name is Josh Burnett. As you can see, we've got a great guest with us today. So excited. We're here at the Propeller right near the Columbus Municipal Airport, and I'm excited to talk with Tracy Munn. I'm sure you've seen him all around town promoting the Propeller, but for those that are just maybe meeting you for the first time, could you tell us who you are and what your role here is here at the Propeller?
Okay, so I'm Tracy Munn. I'm a Columbus native. I've lived here my whole life. I grew up on the south side of town, out near Ogleville. Love it out there. Hello, Ogleville. Have an amazing wife, Kristen, who works at Heritage Fund. I have two kids. My daughter is a sophomore at Purdue. Her name's Izzy, and then I have a son in 8th grade at Northside named Charlie.
Awesome.
So, and basically what I do at Propeller is I set up programming. I communicate with our local partners. We do a lot with our partners, do a lot with our members, whether it's coordinating training. We do a lot of things with kids, so we set up STEM camps and we run a lot of events. So events, programming, dealing with partners, those are kind of my big role.
Awesome. And so for those who have never been to Propeller, you took me on a tour and it
Yep.
was really cool to get to see everything. What is the Propeller and what was the vision kind of background of how it got started?
Okay, so we're a makerspace. We have two buildings. We have 9,000 square feet of equipment and space. So kind of the basic idea was Columbus is a great community, but we wanted to give the community opportunity to have a place where they could meet, collaborate, learn equipment, use equipment, and where people can come and share their knowledge on that equipment.
What type of equipment, that where you can make things? We got to see it and I'm sure we'll show some different video and imagery of it, but if somebody were to come here, what are some of the pieces of equipment they can use?
Okay, so we have a full metal shop. So we have a Bridgeport mill, we have lathes, we have lots and lots of welders, we have a 4x4 plasma table. Our wood shop, we have pretty much everything you would see in a cabinet shop. Furniture shop, we have a miter saw, we have a 4x4 CNC router. That's something that a lot of people don't have in their garages. We have a table saw, so pretty much anything you need for a woodworking project, we've got in our wood shop. We have a 3D printing lab, so we have a couple Bamboo Lab printers that are really nice, really fast, can do some really cool things. We have two laser engravers. We have an X tool, and then we have a large GCC laser that's 24 by 36. Can do a lot of really cool things. And then we've just recently added a stained glass area. So we have two stained glass areas where people can come and work on stained glass projects.
Wow, that is a lot of different
And I'm
pieces
sure
of
I'm forgetting
equipment.
some things.
Yeah, I mean, basically anything you want to make, you can do it here, it
For
sounds
sure.
like.
Yep.
And, as I came by and took a tour of the facilities, it was amazing. There was a lot going on. If somebody were to come here and take a tour with you, what does an average day look like? I'm sure it's different every day, but what are some of the things that you might see people working on?
Yeah, so every day is different. You could come in here and see some Ivy Tech students working on a 3D printing project for a class. Yesterday, we were laser engraving some holiday ornaments. We had a table at a downtown event, so we were doing that. We have a member who's in our wood shop working on a toy box. We have our stained glass artists. There's always people welding in the metal shop, so there's always something going on here. Lots of projects. And the cool thing is when I like to see people come in with, a big, bundle of lumber, and then a month later there's a toy box or a picnic table or something. It's like really cool to see their process go from, just the raw materials to the finished product. It's a really cool thing.
And, you talked about some of the different people, individuals, or groups that are here. I know when we've talked, a big piece of the Propeller is collaboration with the community.
Oh,
Could you talk about some of the things that you all do with collaborating with different community groups, organizations?
Yeah, we do a lot of collaboration. We've done things with Exhibit Columbus. We were a community partner this year for the cycle of Exhibit Columbus. So we worked with Sarah Aziz. She was an instructor from New Mexico. So we helped her with her project. We also helped activate her site. So we got to go out. We kind of were doing a live stained glass demonstration. So a lot of people got to come and actually see some stained glass being put together. We've done things with the Historical Society. So if anybody went to the Chuck Taylor Festival, went around downtown, saw the little painted Chuck Taylors. We did that. We do work with the Columbus Area Arts Council. We've had seniors from high school come in here and do their senior projects. We had a kid from Columbus East a couple years ago came in, and again, he came in with some square tubing, a motor, and about a month later, he built a go-kart. So a lot of our members, kind of pitched in, and we helped him build a go-kart. He'd never done any kind of machining, no welding, put it all together, and we got to go watch him present his senior projects. That was one of my favorite memories here.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
As I'm thinking about the Propeller and, this side of town, the air park has really done a lot over the past few years
Sure.
with the leadership of Brian Payne and
Yep.
organizations like the Propeller to really mobilize this area.
Mm-hmm.
If people were watching this and they're hearing about the Propeller, what's something else maybe that you wish everyone knew about it so that maybe they could be a part of it?
So I think something that I really would like everybody to know is Propeller is for everybody. You don't have to be a maker. You don't have to be a woodworker. You don't have to be a machinist. There's something here for everybody. Whether you like to build Lego, if you like to do painting, there's something here for everybody. We have lots of events free for the community. We have a Lego club. We have a woodworking club. We have a board game club. And then we also offer these workshops for people that don't want to become a member, but want to come in here for a few hours and learn some basic woodworking. And you're here for a few hours, you learn the equipment, you get to take home a cutting board. So we offer things like that. If you don't want to become a member, but you still kind of want to learn some things, we offer that too.
So it sounds like, there's maybe one-time opportunities where you could come
Yep.
all the way up to being a full-fledged member.
Yep.
If people wanted to know more about the Propeller, where should they go?
So I would encourage anyone to come here and take a tour. Stop by, ring our doorbell. I would love to show you around. You almost don't understand Propeller, and Josh will agree with us. You don't really understand it until you come in here and see the facility and see our makers making things, because we're very visual here. You have to see it. But our social media, I try to keep it as updated as I can. So all of our events are on there. We like to post photos of projects people have done. A lot of events we go to. Just keep it updated so people can see what we're doing here.
Yeah, and I think you're doing a great job of sharing your story, and it sounds like there's something every day where you could be
Yes.
posting or telling a story.
Yep.
One of the guys actually just saw him at the event yesterday and originally met him as he was working in the stained glass area, Bob, and just then you saw him kind of in the maker stage, and then we saw him selling his stuff, and it's pretty cool.
It was really neat last night. So we had our booth set up at the event downtown, and then we had a couple of our makers beside us, so we could be like, hey, all the stained glass that was at this table, it was all made at Propeller. So if it's something you want to do, that was all made at our facility. So I really enjoy having our makers out there showing what they do here.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that people are intrigued by, hearing this interview and seeing some of the imagery of all the things that are going on the Propeller. Before we go, how can we support the Propeller as Columbus community members?
So there's a few ways. I encourage you to become a member. That helps us. If you know something and you want to share your knowledge, we're always looking for volunteers that can come in here, help us with workshops, help us with maintenance on our equipment, and then just spread the word. A lot of our best advertising is word of mouth, because people actually come in here, see the facility, see some makers in action, and when they're out with their friends at dinner, be like, wow, I went to a place called the Propeller, and there was a guy building a table, and they have all this equipment there, and they have people there that can show you how to use it. So that's really, really helpful to help get our story out.
That's awesome. Well, this has been such a pleasure to get to talk to you and learn more about the makerspace here that we have right here in Columbus.
Yes.
The Propeller is really offering more than just a place to make things, but also community.
Yep.
And I think that's a really cool thing, because, people, historically love to make things here in Columbus.
For sure.
But I think where it gets really special is when they're together and working on projects, and then getting to, support each other out in the community. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to share a little bit about the Propeller story. And
yes.
And I hope that Columbus, you'll come and check it out. I know there's going to be some pretty huge things going on at the Air Park campus. over this next year. And, the propeller is one of those great things. And so if you're up here in the area, please come and check it out. Talk to Tracy. I'm sure you'll be amazed by what's going on here at the Propeller. Thank you for watching this episode of Celebrate Columbus. We'll see you next time.